my new partner to Annette. And so I went up to hers for dinner, for lunch, and I paid for the lunch. It's not a major thing to say, really. It was just the point is, if I'm such a terrible person, I probably wouldn't have done that, you know? But, you know, just like today, she hasn't got a lot of income coming in. And so therefore I offered. And Brad is there. He looks so handsome. You can't really see so much from the photo because it's so small. But if you can see there. That was within a few months of me first meeting Brad. That's our desserts that we're having outside.
And now look at Jon. No, no.
Now look at me, all bruised and battered.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously on the other side of the sofas is Annette, and again, a good friend at the time. We went up there to have a chat with her, introduced Brad to her, and look how handsome. So we basically went up there, and this was before Brad had ever been on a cruise, so we hadn't been on another cruise with Annette at this point. So we decided, I think, during this conversation that we should all go on a trip somewhere. And so we talked about planning another cruise at this point. And that was really when we then started to see each other more often, me and Annette, in terms of like going on trips. I went on a couple more cruises with her after that. Thank you so much, Buffy. You know, Brad doesn't really like coming on TikTok too much. But he's a really sweet guy, and as I said, I'll do my own story time sometime about the actual relationship because I don't want to bring this into that sort of level. Or Pockerz, we can have a chat maybe about relationships in the future sometime.
Yeah,
on a podcast or something.
Yeah, I mean, you know, because the topics can change. This is specifically about the journey that Jon took from start to finish.
Pumpkins was asking about my nose again. So
he's
I basically I went out and I went for a walk and I came across Annette in her hometown, and Luna flew off Annette's shoulder and started pecking at me the other day, and it's just got worse and worse since. So I'm sorry about that. I have wronged the authorities about it, but not much I can do. No, genuinely, I wear a CPAP mask, and the mask goes right over where this is on my nose, down to my mouth here, and it makes my skin not very good sometimes. That's just the honest truth. So yeah, sorry. So we'll do a relationship like deep. Like we'll have to have trigger warnings for that one because it's going to be a tough one. But we'll have a proper conversation on another day about that. What did Brad think of her? Brad thinks exactly the same thing that I thought. She was a larger than life character who was really nice in short bursts. He liked it. He found her really interesting as a person, you know, as I did. You hear some of her stories, and that's why she gets viewers, because not only because of the way she looks or anything like that, she does sometimes have captivating stories. Now, the problem is that she repeats those stories every day, so you've heard them all now. But when I first met her, I hadn't, and so it was nice to hear those stories for the first time. So yeah, during that sit down in the restaurant, we decided to go on another cruise together, and so I then arranged for Brad, her, and I to go on a cruise that she liked the sound of, and it was a 2-week cruise to where did we go? The Mediterranean. You right, Pockets?
Yeah.
Okay, just check it.
I'm good.
We went on a 2-week cruise to the Mediterranean on Iona. And let me just see. Blah, 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 blah. I need to be a little bit careful with this one. Pockerz, if one of them does have her full name on.
Oh, hold on, wait, hold on. I don't remember there being a picture with her full name on.
So it's the one where she is in the dining room,
looking down.
Yeah. So right in front of the
table. I see it.
Yeah. Can you bring it up to just above that, so we can't see it, or whatever you need to do? I just don't want to display any full names or anything, because that's not fair on someone.
See, we're still trying to be respectful, motherfuckers.
We are still trying to be respectful. So while you're doing that, if you want, you can bring up picture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Picture 5? Yes, that one. Now, anyone who wonders where Jonette got his style from, that is literally the Jonette imagery there. In case you were wondering where I got the inspiration from, that is the inspiration of Jonette. So this was us on a cruise on Iona, and basically we went around the Mediterranean, and it was really nice and warm. The weather was really good. This was about a few weeks after we first noticed her on TikTok.
Yeah.
So she had her cameras with her, and basically was very loud around the ship. She would take her camera with her, and her phone with her. We would sit at a table, and she was really quite loud. I'm getting my dates mixed up, because I think that may have been Ventura that we were on when she was like that initially. But either way, doesn't matter. There were 2 cruises we went on very close to each other, and she would take her cameras with her, and she would set up a live, and she would be really loud in the corner. And it was really embarrassing to be sat there while she's sort of shouting at people on the phone, and sort of like doing her whole lives, because on a live you have to be quite loud.
No.
So she was very, very loud, and people are trying to relax and enjoy their evening or whatever, and she was belting out on TikTok in the corner of the ship. On one of these cruises, we were in. There's a private area on the cruise. I don't know if you know much about cruises, Pockerz, but
not at all.
On P&O Cruise, they have an area called the Retreat.
Oh, is it a bit of a?
It's a bit of a retreat. You know, you think it's a nice, quiet place to relax.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I judged the room incorrectly. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Oh God,
that's a different type of her life. So sorry.
So basically, we were sat in the hot tub together. Me, Annette, and Brad.
Oh God, and I wanted to know about this.
She was live streaming.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, this is where you pay extra to go and be nice and quiet with.
Oh, wow. Okay, so she had to pay more money to be there.
Yeah. Well, her parents did. But anyway, yeah. So she went into the more private area, but she was really loud in the hot tub, to the point that a member of staff actually came over and told her off and said,
"Oh shit,
you can't be here making that noise. People are complaining." And there were people sat about 3 or 4 chairs down from us who were trying to relax, and she was really, really loud. I may well have been loud as well at the time. I can't remember, because I was about 7 or 8 pina coladas in at this point. So I apologize if my behavior was similar, but hers, I remember being particularly loud. It's actually, at the time, I didn't really think much of it being in a hot tub, but when you think back, and I don't want to be rude. I really try not to be rude here, but it's not a memory that I enjoy anymore. Like, it's just genuinely not. When you think about what hot tubs are and how they circulate and all that sort of stuff.
Human soup.
Human soup. I just remember, right, and you guys might remember a while back that she did a video where she basically criticized my partner's age difference between me and my partner. Yes. Yeah, so that's the other image of us having dinner the same day, I think. I actually, you know what? I was quite impressed that she would dress up for the cruises and stuff. You know, I didn't really at the time I didn't really look back at it and go, "Oh God, look at her," like I do now. But at the time, I was impressed that she would dress up for the cruises. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like, do you think that? So this is like purely on like your opinion and stuff like that, but we have spoken and felt that she's very juvenile in certain ways of her behavior and how she talks and that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel that the tiara is that she wears the tiara that makes her kind of feel like a princess, or do you just think that she believes that wearing tiaras is cool?
She never said that. Now, you're right, though. I do believe that she has a bit of a juvenile sense of humor. And I don't believe that she thought she was a princess, for example.
Okay.
I think that on a cruise ship, there was no one else, unless you were 8 years old and in a princess dress, that was wearing a tiara.
Hence my question.
Yes. And it doesn't help when you're going around on the cruise, having people come up to her and saying, "Oh my God, I love that tiara. Where is it from?" Right? Because that's so like plastic girls from Mean Girls, fake,
yeah,
liking stuff. So as I said, I think that perhaps she doesn't always get it right. And I think this is one of those times. It was a tiara. I think it was from Vorsky, maybe. So it was one of
nothing
those.
But the best.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I said, like, my point, really behind that is more down to the fact that because she does have a very juvenile sort of sense of humor, a very sort of, in that sort of way of thinking, is that whether or not she wore it because she's juvenile in her mindset,
Oh, so this might be the one she got at a bridal shop. I'm pretty sure. Are her parents really wealthy? She doesn't like people talking about her parents on here, so I'm going to respect that to a certain degree. I believe that her parents invented something. I wouldn't call them ridiculously wealthy, though. No, but I don't really want to get too much into people that can't come on here and defend themselves.
Yeah, and I think the main point is that her parents obviously have sent her on many a cruise, and that is probably where the conversation of her parents will start and finish. I think is fair enough,
and that is respectful. That they love someone so much that they want to send someone on. I would love for my parents to send me on a cruise.
Bastards.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a lot of respect for them for that. Do I believe that someone in their late 40s, 50s should be accepting those sort of things from elderly relatives? That's a whole nother debate and a conversation, isn't it?
It's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? Yeah.
And again, I don't know enough about their relationship to comment on it.
Exactly.
So sorry, I was saying on the cruise as well. So we were in this hot tub, and so I said that there was once a live or a video where Annette criticized me for being in a relationship with someone who was 10 years younger than me. I am 36. My partner is 26 this year, and there's a 10-year age gap between us. I happen to find him very attractive, and therefore I don't really look at age as the reason for that. It was just someone I started talking to, and I have a particular type. I like blonde hair, for example. Like a lot of guys would like brunette women, and that sort of thing. So but she would criticize me quite a lot for that in previous videos on TikTok.
Do you feel that her critique of that is somewhat formed out of jealousy?
Well, that's what I'm getting to, which is
ding dong. See, look, it's a good thing that I'm just here for the fucking show, ladies and gentlemen.
So the hot tub, Brad got out of the hot tub, okay, and if your partner gets out the hot tub in their swimwear, then obviously you're going to look at them because you like your partner, So I looked at my partner getting out of the hot tub, and she basically said, "Oh, I wouldn't throw him out of my bed." Now, in my opinion, she's 49 or whatever at this time, 48 at this time, for criticizing my age gap and then making comments like that. That was a problem for me, and I didn't have a problem with it at the time, but when you look back at some of these situations, you do question it a little bit. Like, is it that I really don't want to say someone's jealous when I don't know if they're jealous. I don't think that's fair. Could that be one of the possibilities? Possibly.
Yeah. Just hypothetically speaking, yeah. Like,
yeah,
she could have been. But obviously, yes, of course, without, her actual confirmation on that. But yeah, so we can hypothesize.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, there you go, Buffy. Yes, that one.
Hypothesis.
Hypothesis.
Some people are saying about whether it's Tuna Tuesday or what. Why are we doing it?
It's fucking day? Friday. What's going on?
so, in my opinion, when we do a Fishy Friday, it's either an awareness or a serious live. The Tuna Tuesday is literally we're just there for the fun.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a big difference. This is Pockerz wanting to come on and do a podcast session where he asks me questions.
And so far, I've asked very minimal questions.
I mean, if you see people asking questions in the chat that you want to ask Pockerz, then...
Oh, I will take them and use them as my own.
Please take them and use them for your own, yes.
So, how's the weather?
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for that. So basically, that cruise was the cruise when I first saw her on TikTok was not too bad. It wasn't terrible. There were a few points where I thought she was a bit rude to staff. There were a few points where she was quite rude to like being loud and other people on there, but it wasn't too bad. Again, short bursts, like I said. Knowing her in short bursts, it wasn't too much of a problem. Bringing up to image number 8.
8.
Yes.
That one.
Yes.
Boom.
So this is the day of her charity beard shave.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
I did wonder why there was a random.
Someone just said bricked up guys now. Cheers. Sorry. Sorry, that one tickled me. Now this is the Annette that I respected. Right?
Okay,
This is the side of Annette that people actually genuinely thought was good. Right? This is back when she first did a charity thing. She grew her beard out, and she basically did it for the charity to help women with PCOS. I respect that. I respect the fact that someone did something like that, grew a beard in a society where that's not acceptable, and then did a shave to get it out of it, to remove it for charity. So I went along. I said to her, look, I want to support you with this. I'll come along on the day. And she did a big post online where she tried to get as many people come along to this pub as she could. It was really sad. It was me, my partner, and one other that turned up.
Oh God, it sounds like the birthday party.
Yeah. And it was really, I was actually genuinely upset for her that she was trying to do something good. And not a single one of her family members turned up to support her either.
Wow.
Yeah. Not a single, they all knew she was doing it, and none of them turned up. None of her mods turned up. None of her followers turned up. So I was behind the camera. This was her actually talking on the live. So you can see the I think it was an iPad mini actually that's on the screen there. She was talking on the iPad mini doing the live, and I was filming it so she could post a video of it afterwards. I also took the photos that ended up on the BBC News website of her doing it. And this was one of those photos. And as I said, I respect her for doing it. Now, when I look back, I've told you about my nightmare. If we're going to have a little bit of a joke here, as she was shaving, the wind changed direction, and all of the flecks of the hair blew into my face. And I was wearing like a bright coloured T-shirt at the time. I was not impressed, and when I look back on that, it makes me. I think it would be. I would be the same about anyone's beard, to be honest. It's not just hers, but. It all blew back in my face, which I suppose the whole friendship did, really, didn't it? But did she raise much money? I can't remember how much she ended up raising. I'm pretty sure I donated a significant amount.
I mean, but how did she take the fact that not even her family came to support her in the matter? Like, let alone, obviously, mods that, that she obviously thought she could trust. I mean, so in actual fact, when you kind of think about it, and I don't mean this in a shitty sense to any of her past mods back at this time in her TikTok life, but when she does say that she has to be careful with mods or whatnot, it's kind of escalated, I guess, but back then, I guess that's even probably more damaging as well to sort of her trust in her mods and I can understand why she probably feels like her hand gets burned quite a lot. But at the same time, we sort of know that there's other underlying factors. But what did she ever give any kind of inclination and sort of feeling across as to, when people not showing up?
I think she was disappointed. I made the point to her that none of your family and a lot of the mods didn't bother turning up. And she wasn't upset, but she was disappointed. I think that had happened. I mean, I think there's more to the family thing than she talks about. And again, I don't want to go into talking about people that can't come on and defend themselves. But in my opinion, overall, just as a thing, I think people in her life have felt the same way that I feel. Okay. In the sense that she would always get them to do things for her. And
Pitta lives in America, Annabelle. Sorry, I just want to preface that.
Pitta in America. Pitta lived in America, so she wouldn't have come over.
Yeah, I mean, I anyone that's actually a human and has a heart of some description, that is legitimately sad, and not in the sense of we're now going to make a pity party or whatever, but it is sad, especially the fact that she grew her beard out and to shave it for charity to raise awareness, with legitimate, with good intentions through and through,
This was back before she actually made a complete mess of everything on TikTok. So this actually, she had a Just Giving page, and she put people into the Just Giving page. It was none of this, I'm making shoe boxes for Ukraine, you've got to gift me and I'll make some shoe boxes up maybe. There was none of this, oh, I'm going to do goodie bags for you and maybe or maybe not ship them out 3 months later, but you have to pay me £1,000. There's none of that back then. This was back when she actually did it properly.
Yeah.
And as I said, I had a respect for her. That is how she dealt with it, and I was impressed that she had raised that money. So this is really where the thing, a few months on from there, started to unravel. Really.
So after this, are you saying that this is where potential? Like, obviously, I know, like, you must have sort of noticed, obviously, certain red flags, sort of, prior to, obviously, as you said, because
Have you got red flags written on your notepad?
No, I have not got red flags written on my notepad.
No, I just wanted. So basically, the way I see it is that not long after this time, her TikTok started growing quite a lot during the phase where she had the beard. Naturally, if you see a woman on TikTok, and she had a proper beard at the time, you can look back and Google it and see clips of her, looking like that in TikTok. That was when her following grew quite significantly. And that was when she started changing her behavior towards the moderators and the friends in the groups, in my opinion. It was only minor at first. And obviously at the same sort of time, we had made friends with another creator on the app. And I'm trying to think. I'll talk about the stuff that's been talked about online already. We made friends with Frenchie's Army. So Jack.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the guy that you want to be your manager, and you can't even.
Yeah, the next person on my list to become my new best friend. I somehow feel that Jack will literally put up with no bollocks or bullshit from me at all.
So basically,
of course. Sorry. So so it was Frenchie's Army, wasn't it? And then that's when it became, and then he changed it to Spartans, wasn't it?
Yes. Spartans came later. A lot later. This was Frenchie's Army back when they were like properly on here, earning a lot of money. Like we're talking more than Zach makes on TikTok right
now.
Wow. So they were making a lot of money and it was going really well, and he was investing it back into other things, which was great. And they actually paid for her to go on a cruise. Yeah. So during this time, she had said she didn't have any money. She hadn't any money left over. She really wanted to go on a cruise with me. I had a cruise booked, a shorter one, and Frenchie's Army paid for her to go on a cruise.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. And I think it was something like, it was either £800 or £1,000. It was somewhere around that sort of figure.
I mean, and that's still a significant chunk of change, And so, so at the point of, say, Jack, obviously offering that. So how did that actually come about? Because I can't just imagine that, you guys just stumbled on Frenchie's Army, and then all of a sudden go, cruise, please. How did that build up, or is that something?
They felt quite sorry for her.
Okay.
They had started going live with her a few times.
Oh, okay. So they would just support us as well.
She'd explained to them about it all, and to be honest, I probably even dropped the hint at the time to her or to them that she needed to come on this cruise. I can't remember exactly how it all worked out, but effectively, between me and Annette and some other people, we sort of said to Frenchie's that she would love to go on this cruise with me. Let's see if we can raise the money for it. And someone earlier said it's not Frenchie's Army that paid for it, it was the followers. It was a combination of them and the followers. At the end of the day, if a TikToker pays for someone to go on a cruise, it's going to be their followers that paid for it, because that's how they earn their money. Yeah. So yes, they did raise some money, and they also paid some money out of their own money as well. Because that was £1,000 they would have earned anyway. So in my opinion, they gave their money to Annette for this, to go on this cruise. You remember the army drops. KJ, that is correct. That's how I genuinely feel about it. So they basically initially met her, paid for her to go on a cruise, and we got to know them quite well, to the point that we ended up going over to their house for a New Year's Eve party. I drove. This was a long day for me, right? In the morning, I drove to Annette's house. I picked her up. I then drove to Jack's house, at the hotel that we were staying at, and to Jack's house. Now, if I don't want to say where they all live, but effectively, if you can imagine that Annette was here, and then I was down here, and then Jack was down here somewhere. So I did like this triangle trip. And I had to do it on the return as well, after a New Year's party, which I can tell you was not entertaining. So I effectively drove and for about 3 or 4 hours that day to get her to go to the party, because she had no other way of getting there. So I offered to take her, and we went down to his home and we had a New Year's Eve party. It was a lot of fun. We did like a load of games and like Pong, those sort of things that we did. Basically, she was fun for some of it, but a lot of it she ended up not getting involved with.
Sorry, John. Are you all right just to carry on talking? Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. And basically, what did Sandra say? Oh, shut up, Sandra. So basically, we were at the party, and they said to me afterwards that they felt that she sort of sucked the fun out of the room, basically. And so they didn't really enjoy it, having her there. And it felt a little bit like that while we were there too. So I got to know them a little bit more, and I spoke to them a bit more after that. And then obviously they started doing their merch. There was a few gifters that would gift both her and Annette and Frenchie's. And so there was some communication between us all while there was lots of gifting going on. Was she miserable or just not enjoying the moment? Like she is on her own lives, where she just basically says about her conditions and all this sort of stuff. And we're trying to have a New Year's Eve party, and enjoy it. I do agree with you, KJ, that I think that if she's one of those people where if she isn't the attention, they sort of sulk until they get more attention. I do agree with that. I definitely agree with that assessment. Where did Pockerz go? He's just popped off for a minute or two. He will be back momentarily. And that's sort of the whole Frenchie's side of the story. They might talk about that at some point. They were going to come on a podcast with me and do some of it at some point, but he's got to be a bit careful because he runs an agency, So, you know what? Pockerz has barely asked me any questions, but now he's not here. It's really thrown me off. Yeah, everyone dropped me a uni while he's away. Why did they fall out? Well, basically, they text me saying that they thought that they didn't really want to see her again because we were planning on maybe going around there again at some point. And I said, well, let's bring Annette over. And they sort of said, well, she sucked all the life out of the party, so we don't really want her over. And then I told Annette that's what they'd said. And then she just basically fell out with them at that point. Lulu, I recognize your name. You're always in here saying stuff like this. You also had an issue with him. Yes, I did. I had an issue with Frenchie. The way that he treated my partner at the time. That I was not impressed with what they did. The way they spoke to him. Basically, Frenchie had started a dog grooming shop, and my partner was going to be like the manager of the shop to help them run it. And my partner had done a few things like, he'd messed up basically. And Jack sort of shouted at him and spoke down to, and you know what it's like when it's your partner, you don't really appreciate that. So yes, I did fall out with them after that. And then I started speaking to them again probably last year. And I'm not saying I'm best friends with Jack now, but I do still talk to him occasionally. He rang me the other day, that sort of stuff. Do you regret your friendship with Annette? Probably. I think it was a lot of time invested in something that ultimately it's like when you have a relationship as well, like you invest your time into that relationship or that friendship, and you do feel afterwards that you wasted a lot of your time, but you do also learn. You learn a lot from those relationships and friendships as well. So it's a difficult one to answer specifically. I do regret the friendship, but I learned a lot from it as well. So some people just don't know which is the salad for. Thank you, Gemma. Was it because the attention wasn't all aimed at her at the party? I mean, that could be a part of it. Yeah. Where did you go? Did you go to the loo?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello. Sorry. Right. Okay. So, right. Okay. I've returned. So you need to say everything that you just said.
Oh, you can sod right off because I can't remember.
It's fine. I will.
I've got a bit of a dry mouth. Can you fill for a second?
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Oh. What was that for? So I missed the uni. No, not the uni, but I'm going to scroll up just to make sure. Oh, dear. No, listen. Whilst I was, in Pockerz, reflecting time, I think it's important to...
You roll into the shitter.
Yes. Hold on.
Pitter, mute.
Oh, John didn't hear that.
Hold on, let me play it again.
Pitter, mute. Pitter, mute.
Oh, you've got Pitter mute. Oh,
I have it on my soundboard, bitches.
Oh,
Pitter,
very good.
Mute.
There you go.
Oh, very good.
Thank you to CapCut.
What I'll do at the end of this story is we'll open up for Q&A. So people can ask both of us questions.
Yeah, I mean, of course, because because I've got something to contribute, right?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get involved a little bit.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I mean, look, I think it's also just remember that this is obviously Jon's take, or version of a story. Obviously, of course, Annette very much might have a difference in opinion of what's been said today. Will she ever give her other side in a proper constructive fashion? Probably not. And I would also like to preface that this isn't it them being one-sided. I would happily have another time. We can have another story time if Annette ever actually did want to come up and speak about it. You know what I mean? But we know that she wouldn't. Actually,
I don't want to blow my own trumpet here, but I feel like I have actually been quite fair in what I've been saying as well. So
wow,
I've tried not to go into too many personal stories. Yeah, I know. And I've said some things I did like, and I thought she was good for. So I think it's quite balanced.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that you're not being balanced. I'm just saying that there is obviously two sides to every kind of story, which everyone knows.
Yeah.
Would I give her the time of day to actually tell her side of events? Yes, I would. Would she ever do it? No, she wouldn't, and that's fine. Well,
we're about to get on to why the whole thing fell apart, basically.
Oh well, ding dong. Well, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for a bumpy ride.
So some of it you will have heard from me and Annette in the past. So you expect to hear some things you've heard before. I would love it if there's someone called Poppy. I would love it if she would come in the box at some point but she has been quite nervous to do that, and there's no pressure to do that, Poppy, if you're here, but it would be great if you could at some point tell your side of the story. So basically, her mod sort of group started turning into this dictatorship, really, where, you know, some of them weren't perhaps doing the things they should have done, and I tried to help, and in my own way, probably wasn't always constructive. You know what I'm like. There was this group of people that were sort of friends, and this is what I would call the girls' chat. And
the girls' chat.
I made a joke, okay, about one of these girls.
Not a joke.
And I know. You know what I'm like, though. People really need to not take some of the things I say seriously. You know, I just was joking. We were all talking about going on a cruise together. One of the girls in the girls group, I made a comment, something along the lines of, oh, you might need a special kind of heavier hoist to lift you up if there was an emergency in a helicopter. You know, we were just joking about what would go wrong if the helicopter broke, the cruise ship broke, basically. And I made a joke like this. And this person really didn't like that. And, you know, fair enough. You know, I apologized once I realized how bad it was for them. I didn't know fully that it would affect them as much as it did. But not long after that had happened, I went on a cruise with Annette. Right. So I had been aware that they weren't happy about my joke. I'm not saying it was a good joke. I accept that it wasn't a good joke. I know that a lot of women and men struggle with their weight, and I've learned from it. I struggle with weight myself, and I shouldn't have made it, and I made an apology. I accept that, and I'm telling you the truth. You know, I'm telling you the joke that I said because I'm owning up to it. So, yes, on that cruise, I noticed that Annette was a little bit frosty with me because of this other friend who wasn't really enjoying the fact that I'd said this. So I tried to have a chat with Annette and say, you know, what the hell's going on? You know, what they sort of were moving away from me and creating their own little group at this point. And so she effectively had set up a separate group where they were all in. And I felt as though, like, bearing in mind I'd been speaking to them for quite a while, right? I think there was about 4 of them in total, 5 including me. I had said, you know, we were all in this chat for quite a while, and they then moved it to a separate WhatsApp group without me. And suddenly the group that we were in went quiet, and no one was really posting anything in there anymore. And I genuinely was upset about this. I was like, you know, these were my friends that I thought we were building up a good friendship here. And I'd made a mistake and I'd apologized for it. But they'd all moved across to a different chat and left me out on my own. And the excuse for that was, well, we're going to talk about women's things. Well, I'm sorry, but I was the only bloke out of the group that was a bloke. So using that as your excuse that you want somewhere where you can go and talk about women's problems is not really a fair way to do it. In my opinion, Annette created this group to sort of ostracize me away from everyone. So I said, and I called her out on that. I called her out on it, and I said, I don't appreciate you creating another group without me. I feel like you've moved all the friends away from me. They felt they had to move there because Annette was sort of, what's the best way to describe it? She was the figurehead. Yeah, the dictator.
The captain of the ship is how I've sort of described it.
The captain of the ship.
Yeah.
And therefore they felt they had to go to that group and leave me. So, you know, I called her out on it, and then I brought it up on the cruise. One of the nights I'd been drinking a few drinks, and I sat down with Annette late at night. It was about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And I actually was really upset. And I said to her, you know, Annette, I feel like you've been really rude to my partner, because on the cruise, my partner had really gone out of his way. Bearing in mind, he's the sweetest guy that I know, and I care deeply about him. He had been doing things like moving chairs out of the way for her. He'd found tables for us to sit at for drinks. And made sure there was a spot so she could get her wheelchair in. We'd sat and reserved tables and chairs for her at shows, and she said she'd be up and come and sit with us. And she hadn't after half an hour. So we went down to get her. She said she'll be up in a minute. She still hadn't an hour later. So we just left because we were waiting to play board games with her one night. We had waited for this show to hold these seats for an hour, just me and Brad, while she was in the casino gambling. And I've got a gambling problem, you know that. But she was in the casino rather than being with her friends. And the show, just as it started, she rocked up. And I had to say to like 8 different people, sorry, that seat's reserved. Sorry, that seat reserved. And then the show starts. And I'm just like, well, why have I sat here then for an hour for you to just sit on roulette and not actually be a friend? So basically, at the end of this cruise, I called her up on it and I said, look, I think your behavior to my partner was really rude. I think that you were really rude towards me. I think that some of those examples I just gave, I said the girls chat as well, you know, moving all the friends into a separate group. I feel like you're trying to control things, and I wasn't happy with the way that she'd done it. Now, when we got off this cruise, she didn't make any effort to try and resolve it, right? No effort, not a single message back to me, nothing. So I sent her a text message, which she read out to everyone. And she basically, I said to her, so is there any like news on what you're going to do? Like, can we talk about the fact that I'm not in this group anymore? What are you actually going to do to resolve it? And then I find out 2 days later, she sends me a long message. That message basically said that she finds me controlling, and that I wasn't healthy for her anymore, that she no longer wants to be my friend. Please do not discuss it online. And then she blocked me.
Right.
And she encouraged all of those friends to block me as well.
Pack mentality. I mean, I mentioned the other day that I have a sheep mentality kind of way of thinking as well. So, like, you know, I get it when you're caught up in the middle of it, but
yeah,
doesn't make it any better. But I'm just saying, you know, it's.
Yeah, Lulu's very supportive of Annette, by the way. She's in here just constantly supporting Annette, and doesn't even listen to reason, really. But she's constantly in here talking about Annette. And she's basically saying, well, you know, friendships end sometimes. Yes, friendships end sometimes, but I'm explaining the reason why it ended, and I'm explaining how I felt about that. You're more than welcome not to agree, and you're more than welcome not to listen. It's very simple.
Literally missed when I said that, like, as well, that, you know, that I would happily have Annette tell her side of events. But I know that she wouldn't, and it's just like, and we're trying not to exactly like make it. Oh, this isn't even like an attack on Annette, for fuck's sake. John's just telling his story, you know. Like,
no, I am not squeaky cleaning at all. You know, I said some horrible things to her. In fact, I actually, at the end of the friendship, I actually reached out to her and said, "Is there any way we can resolve this? Because, you know, I wouldn't like to lose you as a friend." I actually sent her a really nice message saying that, and she completely ignored it. So yes, I made some jokes that weren't funny, but you know, should 4 friendships end just because I called a woman fat and I apologized and I realized afterwards how much that actually hurt the person? You know, in friendships you say stuff that you regret and you apologize and you move on. But then when she started changing her behavior, so this is what I mean about the whole dictatorship and her way of treating people. Not only did it happen on TikTok, but it happened in my life. And it happened to my partner, and it happened to us on the cruise. And when I called her out on her behavior, just like many of her ex-mods did, she blocked me and told me I wasn't her friend anymore. Now, all of those ex-mods are now ex-mods because they dared to try and tell her that her behavior wasn't acceptable, and that if she just changed some of her behavior, maybe she actually was a really nice person. But she refused to actually consider the feedback and take it on board from friends. Now, that group of friends in that girls' chat are now no longer associated with her. Right? They don't want to be associated with her. It's one big drama after another. In fact, one of those friends drew that picture of me and you holding a tuna because she finds this our Tuna Tuesdays funny. Not because she wants to criticize another woman and make fun of her, but just because me and you are quite funny when we're chatting together.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, listen, I think it's, you know, friendships can come and go and all that jazz. it's the way that then a person see this is, and I've said this multiple times, and I think I'll keep saying it and whatnot. But when somebody puts such as their entire life on TikTok, and people see this, window, like through a window view, of who this person is, and then multiple people come out and say, yes, this is exactly what she is. We can't all be wrong, right?
Well, there's this lady called Ashley in here, who's very similar to Lulu, and so they're quite right. I'm not blocking her. We're not blocking them. We're not muting them like you would have been immediately if you were in a Net's live. Let's address a couple of things she's been saying. She said, so the weight jokes started it. It was a singular joke to not Annette, it was someone else in the friendship group. And I didn't realize, I've always been someone that makes jokes like that. I've always been boisterous. People used to love me for the fact that I'm like that. And I've learned over the years that sometimes those things can hurt people. And I apologized as soon as I was aware. This person didn't say to me it had hurt them. It was, as it always seems to be whenever you're in a group like that, someone else tells you that someone's been affected by it. So as soon as I knew, the second I knew that person was hurt, I contacted them and I said, I'm very sorry that is what happened. I genuinely didn't mean that she was massive or anything like that. It was just a joke about helicopters, and I was wrong for what I said, basically. So there wasn't multiple jokes. It was one joke, and it wasn't to Annette. It was to one of the friends. She then says, I wouldn't take feedback from someone who fat shames, to be fair. Fat shames, if I was constantly saying to Annette about her weight, and I was shaming her for that, yes, I'd agree with you. I never once said anything to Annette about her weight. Never once in the years that I knew her. I knew it was difficult with the conditions that she'd had. I didn't want to bring it up. I wanted to bring up her personality. And that's all I ever spoke. That's all I've really spoken about over the years when I've done my videos. Is her personality, the way that she behaves, the way she treats people. And what she did in these instances was separate me from a group of friends. She tried to run and steer all of their lives as well. A number of them aren't her friends anymore. One of them, in fact, came to me and apologized for the way that they felt that I was shut out. But again, they sort of felt sucked into this world. They feared that Annette would actually retaliate against them if they spoke out, right? Because she has got a big platform. And the fact that their fear that she might do that surely says something about her.
We also have joked, numerous times about the numbers that she always, that she hasn't mentioned in a hot minute, but used to mention quite religiously, like, I've got X amount of followers, I've got X amount of this and that, and, almost like it sort of comes across more as like a humble brag, Do you feel that, those numbers have actually sort of tainted her view and tainted how she comes across?
100%. She believes numbers are everything to her. She says that they don't, but as you've said, all you need to do is see how she reacts to them. She only ever talks about numbers in her live. She'll let her mask slip and she'll go, oh, hello, the 400 people are in here tonight. Oh, there's nearly 2,000 people in here tonight. All she cares about is that sort of thing, So that's always been the case. And I think that what she does is she uses a group of people, say the mods, and once that relationship starts to falter with one or two of them, everyone cottons on to how she actually behaves with them. Then a big group leave, and this has happened 3 or 4 times, and you were in one of those groups. And then she brings in a whole new group of enablers. So now she's on her like 3rd or 4th group of people that absolutely love her, say that she's amazing. Just ignore them. They're big bullies and trolls. They're all bullying you because of your disabilities, your weight, and all of this. And that's all she hears in her ear all the time from people that just suck up to her the entire time. So she loves that, and she loves having this new group of friends, and she'll remain with that group of friends now until one of them actually is awoken to the fact or is treated wrong, and then the cycle starts again.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, rinse, cycle, repeat, really, at this stage, isn't it?
And you could see, you could see that come out when she fell out with Zach. That moment where he dared ask for an apology from her.
Yeah,
and she was physically sick. She was physically shaking from the fact that she might have to say sorry for something she had done to offend someone. And no, she didn't say sorry. She said, sorry, you took it that way.
Yeah.
Right? That is a narcissistic, gaslighting person, if there ever is one. And she was doing that again in her recent live, where she was, and we're going to review that next week, where she was making up this apology. She did it again in another video that she published just recently, saying, I'm sorry, you're the one, I'm sorry for being me, or whatever.
Yeah,
it's a you problem.
It's a you problem. And it's just like, well, if enough people say that there's a problem, I think it's safe to say that, like, not everyone is brainwashed into, but liking or, believing that Annette is holier than thou, I mean,
yeah.
I also kind of feel that, and we have sort of mentioned this before as well, that, like, being a mod for her, like, we were enablers of her, existence as such, not that obviously, like, we condoned, obviously, certain things that she has said that have gone on to be, very, very wrong and have upset multiple and many, many, many people. But enabling her by, just supporting her even in the smallest of forms by, as I say, just even having the mod tag, but doesn't necessarily mean that we're bad people. It's when you realize, I say, from that outside perspective, and it's like, this is a narcissist.
the minute that she felt as though she had stood up to me because I was a controlling narcissist, that was how she basically viewed me. That began the spiral of her downward behavior on the app. In my opinion, no one else was then holding her accountable for her actions that knew her in real life. She felt as though she could continue with that behavior, and she did bloody continue that behavior, and has done even up until now, where I think it's probably some of the worst that it has been. Now that she believes that she's got this manager supporting her and all this sort of stuff. I don't want to say that I was the reason that she acted as. I'm just saying, now she's not got that person to check her. All the people around her are people who know her from TikTok and love her because they think that she's famous.
Yeah, and I mean, newsflash, she's not. I mean, it would be interesting to actually be able to have a conversation with her, like a proper legitimate conversation, not one of, because this isn't coming from any, like, there's no malice or hate.
God, we're a year and a half away from all that now.
From what?
Well, the emotional side of it is gone now.
Yeah. Is her manager her PA? No.
I mean, Lorraine makes a valid point as well. I have had the same group of moderators from when I first started. And they're still, they know each other. And if I was such a bad person, then those people wouldn't still be there supporting me. If I was a narcissist and a controlling one, surely one of them would have now left me and done the same sort of thing. You were a part of that cult. You even described the other day how you felt as though you had to say, and you had to work. It was really enlightening to hear you read your text message.
My messages, literally,
and it even woke you up as you were reading it. You were like, "Oh shit! Did I actually sound like that?"
Yeah, like legitimately, like and then it was like 2 days later, like my final message is like you could literally in a heartbeat you can see where I'm still pandering and walking on eggshells to try and to try and help. Try and, as I say, pander to her needs or whatever. I'm sorry, ma'am, sorry, kind of thing. And then the last message I sent her was just like, and there you go.
And people said, do you think, John, that you were bullied? I think that I came away realizing the kind of person that she actually is, and the fact that for years now she's had people in her life like bow down to her every need. That's only been exasperated by the fact that she's got all these followers now on TikTok, and so she can, in my view, exploit a lot of the vulnerable people on here. She might not think that she's exploiting them. So in her head, I don't think she looks at it as though she's calculating and devious, right? I don't think she thinks like that. I just think that she has a bigger picture of how everyone needs to help support me. I'm the most important person. She would have phone calls where she'd cry to people for 3 hours on the phone because of the bullying and the trolling, and it would all be about her. Zach even said it was all about her. You know, there was never any reciprocal. How are you feeling, Zach? You know, I'm sorry this hurt your feelings. But it was all about her.
But do we then think that, does she even know that she's kind of doing that? Like, do you think that there is...
I think that she doesn't realize she's doing it, but the problem with her is that she's not willing to hear what people think she's doing. So when someone goes to her and says, this is how you're behaving, like when you text her and say this was a shit show, she didn't respond to you.
Yeah, that is true. Right? She did not.
So for me, it was blocked. For the friends, it was blocked. Everyone is going against me. All the ex-moderators are horrible bullies and trolls. They're all making up lies about me. Okay, let's go through the lies, shall we? Number 1, Ukraine charity. What did I actually say about the Ukraine charity? I said, I've looked into this Ukraine charity. It doesn't seem right to me. First of all, she was supporting one thing and then it was another thing, and it changed 2 or 3 times. So the people that originally donated didn't actually have their money going to the thing they thought they were going to. That charity was actually promoting gambling on their Facebook page. And so I raised the fact that they were promoting a gambling company on their Facebook page. And as a personal history, which you've heard of my gambling story, I said on TikTok, I do not like the fact this charity was promoting gambling. But all of a sudden, I'm bringing a charity down. I'm bringing her good work down. I'm a terrible person. All these people making up lies about me are bullies and trolls, right? And it's the same thing with the goodie bags. The goodie bags started out, right? They were supposed to be, people would sign up in August, September time and pay for 4 months worth of stuff. And in December, she would send out 50 goodie bags. Right? She said that she would do this.
Yes.
Now, forget about the fact that, you know, people have paid over £1,000 now for these goodie bags. There is still no real reports of these goodie bags actually arriving with anyone. Okay. Now, my suspicion is that she will now send them out because we've all been raising this and making people aware of it.
I mean, you know, we touched on the fact that this is now, like, where does it, I guess it ends if she actually sends them all out. But the problem is that she sent them out at the pressure that essentially that people are raising awareness about, like anti-TikToker, like when we talk about it, you know, because of course, if there's pressure behind it, you know, she probably sees it more as, I need to get that done, you know, but at the same time, everyone else is sitting here going, so basically she got the money, she took the money, she hasn't done anything with the money. So where is the money?
I think it's a difficult one when you've got people that were told, thank you, Mrs. Bland, when you've got people that were told that they were going to get these goodie bags, and then they see her buying fish tanks, and expensive items, new camera systems, and yet they're still sat there 2 months on from when they were promised they were going to get these goodie bags in time for Christmas. Then of course you're going to have people that are going to be really unhappy about that.
You know, it's just like, don't claim poverty and then buy a Lamborghini.
Exactly.
you're inciting, like,
Now, we haven't even touched on the fact that when I decided to raise the charity questions the other year, that guy decided to contact my workplaces and make malicious complaints about me, right? Now, Annette and her group effectively helped give him information about me, and they were talking. I've shown some of the screen, not all of them, but I've shown some of the screenshots where the mod group were effectively sharing my personal details, trying to get email addresses for my bosses at work, taking details off of my LinkedIn page, all these sort of things, which I've obviously closed down since.
Yeah.
And they were sharing all this information. Did Annette say at any point, no, guys, this is ridiculous. You can't go after his work. That's not on. Did she say that? No, she didn't. She encouraged it. She actively encouraged it. So to sit there and say, I didn't know this was happening until after it happened. Well, I'm sorry, we've shown the proof that actually happened and that she was involved in that. Now, that is a nasty piece of work. I'm sorry, that is a nasty piece of work. Someone that's willing to send the police around my house, go after my workplace, go after my Samaritans. When I used to work there and volunteer on the phones, they wrote to the Samaritans and said that this is someone who's volunteers for you. You shouldn't have them here. They contacted my business partner when I used to print workwear for people. And I used to do like the Frenchies Army hoodies and things like that. They targeted every single one of my workplaces, my home. And I got to the point where I was really upset about this. And you were actually on that live when I was reacting to that. Because I knew in my heart that this is what had happened, but that was the first day that I'd actually seen proof behind the scenes that is what she was orchestrating. And so the whole point of this story is to really tell you how I first met Annette.
Try saying that when you're drunk.
Yeah, I know. Well, how I first met her, what happened throughout those years, how the friendship fell apart. And hear a bit more about my side of the story, although I've already covered a lot of this, which is why we're not going into loads and loads of detail about it tonight, because I don't need to. You've all heard it all before. But I wanted to tell you that part of that story again, because it's really, really important. It gives you a picture of behind the scenes what this person is actually like.
As and from my experience, is like, yeah, I did see the nice side of Annette. And then but towards the end of it, I then saw the not so nice side of Annette. And that's not to say that no one is, that we're holier than thou or anything like that, everyone's got everyone can be nice, everyone can be shitty. It's just the way life is, isn't it? But it depends on how much of a shitty person you want to be. And how consistent, I guess, you want to be as a shitty person. And I think from the general zeitgeist that views Annette, you see, unfortunately, the worst side of her. And that's not to say there isn't a good side, because I've witnessed it. Jon has witnessed it. Other people have witnessed it. But unfortunately, the character or the caricature that she puts on TikTok actually sort of more than none. Is that the right phrase? But she ends up showing the wrong side.
Yeah, and you've got, these people like Lulu that come in here and try and talk me down for what I'm saying, and that's fine. People are entitled to their opinions. I don't see Lulu over there questioning her on the charity. I don't see Lulu over there questioning her why the goodie bags haven't been sent out yet. I don't see Lulu over there asking her about her cancer comments that she's made. Right, Lulu? I suggest people like you go over there and raise your concerns about her behaviour, but you won't. You won't, because you know that you'll be blocked. And that's what happens with our friendships. That's what happened with our mods.
And don't you find it interesting that you go and question her, you get blocked? That sounds like a dictatorship to me.
It sounds like a narcissist who's unwilling to accept their behaviour.
exactly. And you got this is the thing. There's like an outside perspective. There are the viewers and whatnot. There are people on this app that will just go around and cause, that will stir the pot just for the sake of stirring the pot. Because we can sit here and say so much, and then people can then go take whatever we say and go stir pots elsewhere and all that jazz. But yeah, you don't see. As it like, and this is why I say, like, and John did allude to it earlier, you don't see people going over to her live and claiming, well, actually, hold on a minute, where are the goodie bags? Why is this? Why is that?
Well, but there probably are, but she's probably added the word goodie and bag into her blocked list. Now, this is something else we need to talk about. The fact that in her videos, do you not think it's surprising that some of her videos get tens of thousands of views, but only 10 comments? Or 20 likes? Do you not think that that's a little bit suspicious coming from someone with that kind of following? I know why, because she's added into her filters a load of words that can't be said in her comment section. She's done it on her lives as well, right? You're not allowed to say anything, and if you do, and it happens to get through these filters, the mods will block or ban you. So therefore, you're not allowed to ask her and confront her about these things. And this is what she's done in her life. She removes friends and family that have raised their concerns about the way that she acts, and she just shuts them out. So when I say, Lulu, why don't you go over there and do it? It's because she can't. She's not able to. That is a real problem. Now, this woman has a platform which is seen by thousands of people. And if you're going to come on here and say, I suffer with this condition, you're going to get a load of people that follow you because they suffer with the same condition. But then when you say to those people, guys, I actually think cancer is, easier sometimes than my condition. My condition is really tough. Then you're hurting and you're informing so many people of these things. She's still got the article up today on her profile of where she believes this. Now, if you didn't believe something, you wouldn't have that up on your profile. You have that up on your profile because you do believe it. And she's so adamant she's correct about it that she will never apologize and correctly tackle that sort of thing. But her friends at the time, some of these girl chat friends as well, they left at this point because they saw this cancer comment and they contacted her and said, this is disgusting. You can't say things like that, Annette. They all got kicked out of her life as well. Does this all sound familiar? I'm sorry. I must, like, for people like Lulu, I genuinely... I'm concerned about people like Lulu. Either she doesn't have enough brain cells to put two and two together, or she probably is intelligent, but for some reason can't see the wood through the tree. What is it? What is it that some of these people do not see from my stories, from multiple moderators and friends coming out and saying the same stories, to her neighbors saying the same thing, to the fact that her family didn't turn up to these events, to the fact there's video proof and evidence of how she acts and how she talks towards people. How are you still supporting this woman? Please tell me. Please, someone come and tell me, because I genuinely don't get it.
Yeah, explain it, because as I say, it's sad enough that her own family didn't go support her on something that actually was quite admirable of her to do. And yet, so, we go on.
Pockerz, how many times do people say to us, move on from this? How many times do people come in here and say, oh, you're still talking about this a year and a half on? The reason is because I'm passionate that people don't get sucked into a waste of their life like I did. I felt ostracized from family and friends. I felt as though I had been kicked out of groups. I felt as though I had been controlled, and therefore I don't want that for other people.
And I think also people need to realize that, what, and I'm not trying to make this a pity party for Jon, but, I'm just stating a fact here, a fact that, he said something wrong. He immediately apologizes. She's then turned the entire group against him. And then in that turn has then also not only has taken it off the app and made it real life. So, and I don't want to get into topic about other creators and stuff like that on this app, but with doxing events and and things, sort of, TikTok life sort of bleeding outside of the app, if that makes sense. But that happened, so if out of anybody that Jon has a good reason to be passionate, to want to actually tell people and make people not get sucked into the vortex that is the name's Luna.
Because all I ever see is people get hurt.
That's literally the outcome. It might not be today.
The only exception is Pitta. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what relationship that is. I don't know how that thing happens, but she's the only one who doesn't appear to have been hurt by this. But I can't think of a single person that's close to her now that was close to her 2 years ago, other than Pitta.
Yeah.
And all of those other people have been hurt in some way or another, to the point that they fear that she's going to do the same things that happened to me.
And that's terrifying when you...
Terrifying. To have police knock on your door, to question you on videos and stuff. I knew the law, so I knew that I wasn't in trouble, but I was still scared that they turned up to my house.
Yeah, you still got to fucking deal with it. And that's why I just to say it's just worth reminding people as well.
Beck says she's never been.
Yeah, I just want to say firstly, I'm really proud of Jon for the way you stood up for himself, against Annette when he felt like she had left him out of the group chat. I think he was, it was good for doing that. But my question is actually for Pockerz.
Oh, of course.
Jon has already Jon's already told us when he started to see the red flags in their friendship. But when did you start to see the red flags in the friendship?
Oh, he's just going to have his sweeties now. You've upset him. See, he doesn't have a 10-second delay with me, but he does with you, so it's fine. I started seeing the red flags literally. So, like, the party was the catalyst for me, because, as I say, like I can recall it now, like it was last Sunday. I'm standing there and I'm singing karaoke. I'm pretty sure I was singing "Drops of Jupiter," right? And just in the corner, there was just a mass of people all on their phones. And I'm like, I'm singing, I'm trying to enjoy the karaoke and stuff like that. And obviously, whilst this live stream's going on, and then other people are watching this other live stream of a certain individual, not naming who, and then the mole saga was then where it reached its pressure point, where there were all these multiple different different mod groups, where basically I felt like everyone was accused of being a mole, and we were the ones that had to then prove that we weren't a mole by basically having to play the games of being super secret squirrel, super spy.
And they were all having so much fun at Annette's party that they just happened to be sat on their phones in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, so at this point, actually, so I wasn't actually properly on TikTok at that stage. So, and as I say, I didn't, I knew who Jon was, but I didn't know the ins and outs of how far it went, and all that jazz. But yeah, I mean, that the mole saga, I would say, was the cherry on the cake. That's what it was for me.
Right.
And it was an absolute shit show. So,
I can imagine.
Thank you, Siobhan.
Thank you.
One and done. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Amanda. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Look, the thing is, you never let Fat Freak in a box on a Friday. You should
he's
know
at the
this.
Pub. I know, so that's why I've muted him. So right, okay, go on, Amanda. You ask your question, then.
So regarding the extent of the problem, and this could be either or that answers it, because I think you're both quite valid in doing so. Regarding the extent of the current problem and the situations that we've seen, how far do you think that this is going to have to go before she makes any sort of substantial change, like in terms of what would have to happen for her to make such change? Do you think she ever will?
Could I start with that one, John?
Go for it.
So, the cynical side of me, I don't think, a leopard can change its spots at this stage. I legitimately, even if she actually, this is the thing, I don't believe it, but if she did admit the fault, if she admitted that some of the things that she's done, i.e. the way she's handled the goodie bags, the way that she handled, obviously, behind the scenes situations, then okay, yeah, but you can say it, but you might not mean it. I mean, as I say, that's just the cynical side of me. But I've frozen up. You can still hear me, but my camera's gone all wafty. Go on, John.
It's not a good look.
Do you want me to step in for a minute?
Yes, please. I've got to try and catch up.
My genuine opinion is that we're past that point now. The fact that I thought, as a longer term friend, by bringing this up to her, that she might actually change, she didn't. She fell out with family and friends because she wouldn't change. I don't think there is anything that anyone can now do, and that's what I think is dangerous about this situation.
Yeah.
Like there's no rehabilitative sort of intervention that would even make a difference. So it would always be a constant state of superficial engagement in terms of not thinking she's wrong, I guess, and making people think that she's a good person, I suppose. If you understand what I mean when I say superficial, or when I say superficial, it's always like, well, I'm being the bully, with the fact that she has a group of enablers, people she's pulled in, which is where you both were at one point. But obviously the rose tinted glasses slip, don't they? So I guess that was the other part of that's why I was trying to ask, is there anything rehabilitative wise intervention one could put in place that would make that change? But with regards to what you've said, I'm probably in a mind to agree, to be honest.
Yeah, I just don't think. See, if she could hear what we're saying now, which maybe she's being told this, I don't know, but if she could hear what we're saying now, I'm pretty sure she is sitting there with the thought process of, well, I haven't done that. And I think that's kind of worse, because I feel
have
like
nothing to apologize for.
Yeah, because that's a you problem.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think at this point it's just raising certain awarenesses of her, and her traits, the nasty traits. And as I say, we have spoken about the nice things that she has done and stuff like that.
I also have to say, and sorry, Amanda, if I interrupt you, it's just because I have a delay. So, but shut up, it's my show. But what I'm trying to say here is that I did obviously do some things wrong with how I dressed up as her, and I fell on the floor. I accepted that was bullying. I apologized, and I've not repeated. I don't wear the dresses. I don't do it anymore. I did put a tiara on the other day, but whatever. It's not quite the same. I will not be doing that anymore, because I don't want to get into the realm of bullying. Now, some people think that what me and Pockerz do when we laugh at her and how she talks and what she's doing is bullying, and that's fine. You have that opinion. Me and Pockerz don't think it crosses that line, and therefore we're willing to do it.
Fair enough. I will say accountability and responsibility are two very different things. And my personal opinion, if I didn't think you were taking accountability, John, I'd certainly tell you. But accountability looks like, I'm sorry I hurt you, and actually changing those actions. So in my mind, regarding professionality and things, you definitely have taken accountability. As I said, accountability, what accountability looks like is not responsibility. They are two very different things. So do you know something? Good for you. And I'm going to, if you can kick me, Pockerz, thanks for answering my question. I really appreciate your time. And yes, I'll shut up. I'm sorry, I'll zip.
He's got a 10-second delay, so it's fine. But thank you, Amanda. You're amazing. Thank you,
Amanda.
Okay, here we go. Here's Noisy. Oh, hold on. I've invited him to unmute.
He's just here for the clout.
There he is. Here we go. Fucking hell.
What's going on?
Hello. Are you okay?
I thought this was a private video call between me and you, Pockerz.
Listen, what we do off the app, John doesn't need to know about, okay?
Well, that is a bit weird.
I feel like I'm just watching two people in a mirror.
It's like looking in a mirror, yes. I've been told that wearing my hat backwards actually is a look, and I appreciate Fact Freak for giving me that look.
You're also going to enjoy the aerodynamics that it gives you. You'll feel that you will get around a lot quicker, less air resistance.
I feel swifter. For a fat man, I feel swifter.
And then very soon you will become a Swiftie like me. So it's a stepping stage.
It's just progression.
It is. I suppose we're talking about a tuna box that I wouldn't like to dive into, yeah?
Yes, that would be the case.
Is it too noisy? Because I don't want to fuck your show with the noise, right?
Oh, no, but we like you, so it's fine. We'll put up with the noise, right?
Yeah, but what I will say, though, is I'd like to know your opinion on these bloody goodie bags. Like, I know that obviously they weren't given out, but how do you feel about the fact that she's denied anything she's done wrong? She's not addressing it. She's buying all these expensive things like fish tanks and filters, and yet we haven't seen evidence that these have been denied.
I mean, people are saying it's hard to hear. Yeah, can't hear. 1 second, what time is it? How long are you guys on?
I don't know. Go to the toilet.
I'm not going to go to the toilet. I'm not going to lock in a cubicle. People hear me in the local pub being like, I fucking think these goodie bags are a fucking pieces. Like,
this man's having a wicked shit. He's having a wicked shit.
I mean, it would be fitting because she is a shit, but no,
actually, that's a good point. Why don't you mute when we're talking and then unmute when you're talking?
Oh Jesus, John, that's a lot of effort, isn't it?
Yeah, it's okay. Right, so John. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, there you go. Right, okay, right, John. Ask your question.
Okay, let me ask.
Oh, I'm frozen up again. Oh, here we go. I'm lagging.
Sorry, it's all about Pockerz again now. Bear with me.
Yes, it is all about me. Yes.
Can I just say? Just let him go. I heard your question. And in the pub with all this noise and the delay and all this sort of shit, probably not the right time to answer that question, obviously. But if you're on in like an hour or so, I'll jump in and I won't be in a pub. And if not, maybe I'll join you for one of these nights and we'll chat. If you're up for that.
I'm always up for anything. You know me. Oh, there we go. And I'm back in the room.
Yeah, Fat Freak, I think he needs to come in and do Lunar Tuna Bingo with us.
Would you do that? Are we trying to book Fact Freak right now?
Yes. I think he needs to come in and have.
Yay, we've booked Fact Freak for Tuna Tuesday. Considering it just started off with me just talking shit about her, and then John's joined in, and now Fact Freak's joined in.
Yeah, I mean, Fact Freak, if I wanted to go and hear a clattering of plates, I would have gone out on a Friday night, honey. But I'm sad and I'm here, okay?
You called me honey, so I will accept that. But yes, I'll see you Tuesday.
Ding dong.
Bye.
Bye.
Ding dong. See, there we go.
Oh God, that was a car crash.
No, it wasn't. It was a smattering of people having fun and the clinking and the clankings of the glasses. Yes. See you Tuesday. Thank you, sir.
So, are we going to aim for the usual end time tonight?
It's up to you, mate.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to answer some more questions if people have questions.
Yeah, I need reminders. Yeah, don't worry, Fat Freak. We'll sort that out. Yeah. Oh, shit, John.
Fat Freak's completely ignored my message to him. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I sent him a message like 2 days ago. He's not even read it.
Wow. I mean, the thing is, John, do we need to do a promo video?
Yes, I think he needs to be in it as well, and all three of us come up on the screen.
For the love of fuck, yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, we'll message him. We'll sort it out.
Yes. No, that's amazing. Yes, we'll message you, Fact Freak, and just check, watch out for your DMs. Yeah.
Yes. Watch out for your DMs.
Yes, I'll just slide into your DMs.
Oh, why did Amelia said John, but I didn't see a question.
Jon. Annette, the best a man can give.
Pitter, mute.
Someone said John dress up for the promo video in the dress. Doctors, I've addressed that part of it, to be honest. So.
No is the answer. There you go. Scouse Queen would like to speak. Here we go.
Okay, let me turn up my volume.
Hello, Scouse Queen.
Hello. Hi, guys. I'd like to start off by saying I think Pockerz and Fact Freak were separated at birth. I really do.
Yeah, it's funny how I get resemblance to Fact Freak and Annette at the same time. It's very weird. It is weird. I'm not going to
lie. I just had a quick question for Jon, and I would like to say, first of all, I think you've put your point across tonight really well. You come across as a really genuine guy, and obviously just the fact that you are opening the platform up for questions is that it tells me that you are, everything you're telling me is the truth. Because Annette never puts herself in that position, and as soon as she gets an awkward question, you're blocked, and that's it. What I wanted to ask was the situation where she claimed she had a stutter. Number one, do you think she has one? And if you don't think she has one, were you ever during the time in your friendship privy to this type of behaviour at other times?
Sorry, just let it catch up.
Yeah, no
there we go.
So, so first of all, thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's difficult when you've got someone on such a large platform spouting the sort of stuff she does about me, and trying to disprove everything that I've said. It's difficult, and it's good to see how many people actually want to listen to the truth of. And I'm not saying what she says is all lies. I'm just saying that what I'm saying isn't. Yes, I do believe she has a stutter. I have seen it in person. It's, in my opinion, not as bad as she has been making it out to be in recent times. I think personally she over exaggerates some of these things to get more attention, maybe more sympathy. I mean, there are known cases where people have mental health issues where they have to have that level of attention, and they don't know they're doing it, so that's my genuine opinion on it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll drop down now. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Scouse Queen. There you go, I'll kick you out. There you go.
Thank you, Scouse Queen.
I'll help you on your way out. Off you go. Like, hiya. Thank you. When did I meet her? What, person or on TikTok? Obviously, remember, if anyone wants to jump in the box, you're more than welcome to ask a question. We are very happy to have you in.
I'm sorry for the people saying I have a vacant look. The truth is that on the unique way that TikTok Studio works, I have no idea what the person in the box is saying. So I have to have the live open on another screen and listen to them talk. And of course, I then get a 10-second delay. So,
well, yeah, I mean, if Jon is being streamed off of Discord. So if he was in the box like he is down there, he would have heard you straight away. But because he's in Discord, like, it's just the way it is. Yeah. Tracy 83, step on up to the Oki.
Oh, hold on, I got on mute.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
Hi. I was just wondering what you think about Annette and Zach the Brat's relationship. Was it a friendship? Was it not a friendship?
Well, we have heard from Zachary that
I messaged Zach. I messaged Zach directly, and he basically, and he said it on his live now, so I'm happy to share it. Yeah. He basically said that he was effectively using her for the entertainment. He knew what she was like, and it's all really for the show at the end of the day. So from I think he genuinely did get upset with her. You know, I think that he did feel disrespected by her, and he did ask her for an apology, and he didn't get that. You know?
Yeah.
He should have had an apology. She was in the wrong big time.
Yeah, I mean, like, even as John pointed out earlier, you know, it's the fact that he asked for an apology and she just couldn't do it. And it's just like, an apology is, I mean, I get apologies off my 3-year-old and it actually feels sincere, you know? Like, she can't even apologize to somebody when she has, like, when they've done something wrong to her. But when she does wrong to them, oh, no, that's a you problem.
Yeah, you know, exactly. Yeah, it's one rule for one rule for another.
Yeah, I mean, and like, look, don't get me wrong. I absolutely fucking loved every second he was talking to that woman. Because I'm telling you now, like, as of course the fanboy that I am, I'm, you know, I legitimately like found it hilarious because, and this is the thing, it genuinely, when she was having fun, I could see that's somebody having actual fun. Yeah. You know, because he was tongue in cheek and he is tongue in cheek, you know? Yeah. Like, and you could see that she, you know, she kind of felt a bit naughty and like and all that jazz. And...
Yeah, but also when she went too far with it and she started blaming illnesses for things and all this sort of stuff to him, he actually did take the piss out of her. And I think that is how it should have been. And she, to be fair, in her head, should have understood she was doing something wrong, but I don't think she ever did. She actually thought Zach was being sincere the entire time. And I think that tells you a lot about her as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, yeah. You know, I think you two are great. I love watching you guys.
Thank you. We're the duo that no one knew that they needed.
Oh, you make me laugh. It's great.
Thank you, Tracy.
Soon to be a trio.
Yeah, yes. Tracy,
can't wait to see that.
Just send your uni over and then we'll you can come up again next time, yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Tracy. Go on. Bye. Putin. There you go. Thank you very much. You know, and it's a fair point. I think Zach has the patience of a saint. You know, but also it's the entertainment value that it provided, and Zach, being the showman that he is, fucking delivered. Like, legitimately delivered with that, you know. Whether you hated Annette, whether you dislike her, whether you love her, whatever, you know, when she went into that live with Zach, you know, it was gold. It was funny because, you know, he's the cheeky chappy and she's the sort of, you know.
Well, can someone come up with a different question, please? Because this guy can talk about Zach for 2 hours and his heart melts, you know. So if someone please could come in with another question. Jesus Christ.
You're only upset because I'm not fucking pissing my knickers every time you show up, all right?
I'm just upset it's not about me.
But anyway, yes. So Zach, okay, I'll stop. I'll stop.
A lot. I've seen a lot of people ask the same question though, which is about you know, her religion, and do I think that she is actually religious?
That's an interesting question.
I do, but I believe that she's religious. Yeah, I think that's fairly obvious.
I mean, my take is just because she's religious doesn't mean that she can't be a cunt, you know?
No, but my opinion is that a lot of the bad people in this world hide behind religion as an excuse to do the things that they do. I mean, you've got people like Talia on the app as well, who and Ricky Rickster, sorry, who preach. You made your bed, now lie in it.
So lying in.
But basically, if they were true Christians, they should be preaching forgiveness. They should be following what God said. And I went to a Christian church, school when I was young, so I know a little bit about it. But I'm not actually religious myself. In fact, my belief is that there's someone higher out there than us, but that could be as much as an alien out there. You know, I like the film Prometheus. I think that's quite a good film to explain how I feel about things. Maybe not the whole they come back and eat us sort of thing, but the bit where someone else seeded the earth. You know, that's my belief. But what I'm trying to say is people like Talia, Rickster, Annette, they will do something wrong and then say, oh, I'm religious and God, you know, you need to follow God. You should do what God says. God preaches this and that. And they tell you how to live your life. But then on the other hand, Talia is quite happy to post 10 different screenshots of EQ about her a situation, her having a go at her, going into releasing personal details. But they're apparently Christian people. And it's the same with Annette, although not quite as extreme. You know, she will hide behind that, in my opinion, when she's done something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, and my other point as well is to, like, onto the whole religion thing. It's just like, I don't think her faith has anything to do with her being a knobhead.
No, they're two separate things.
What? Faith and knobhead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what did I say wrong? What?
No. You've said everything correct. Don't worry. Calm down.
Sorry, well, you know, as I'm saying,
sometimes I don't know whether I'm talking to now Pockerz or 10 seconds away Pockerz. So I sometimes get a little bit of a stutter in my brain, you know.
Holly's stepping up to the Yoki.
Oh God, I got unmute. Hold on. Hi, Holly.
Here we go. Hi, Holly.
Hello.
How are we?
I'm good. How are you?
Living that dream.
I wanted to ask a question for Jon, because Jon said he... Sorry.
Yeah.
He said he knew Annette, obviously, before TikTok. Was she any different, if that makes sense?
Wait for it. There we go.
I mean, well, there's several things I could say to Holly. Number one is, cheers, thanks for ruining bingo the other day, you bitch.
It legit was not me. I swear down.
That's what they all say.
And then, I don't know how to answer this question without sounding like a dick, so I'm just going to sound like a dick.
Or do you know what, Jon? You could just, plead the fifth, right? You know you can do that.
But you know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't think any less of you.
If you had watched it from the beginning, Holly, as a true fangirl that you apparently are, yeah. I did actually go into quite an amount of detail about how she was beforehand. But the truth is that actually, I thought at first she was quite a nice person, and I felt like over time her bad qualities were enhanced when she became more popular on TikTok, and there were more people that could be suckered into this, is the easiest way to describe it.
Yeah.
Do you feel satisfied with your answer?
I do, thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you, Holly.
Thank
you made your bed.
So
Pitter mute. Pitter mute.
There we go. Thank you. Right, go on. Piss off.
Thank you. Pitter mute.
Pitter mute. Yeah, I mean, it's just, and let's. I mean, look. Does she live near you, Jon? Who? Are you talking about me? What?
Well, unless you're a she.
Oh, I'll miss that.
Does Annette live near me? No, she lives a good hour and a half, 2 hours away from me.
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
I mean, Lorraine is correct. There's a number of things I'm happy about from the Annette friendship that meant I met some really cool people from it. So I am pleased at that. You know, and I don't think that I would have had as much fun as I am with people like Pockerz. I wouldn't have met them if it wasn't for this. You know, so yeah.
Pitter
like her,
mute.
then, so,
You did a little bit. A wants to join the box. Step up to the hockey.
I shall unmute.
There we go. Hello.
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 This is a question for Pockerz. Can we please have a lullaby?
Wait, what? What are you on about? What are you on about?
Can we please have a lullaby?
A lullaby? What?
Yeah, sleepy time lullaby.
You get a lot of thirsty women in here, Pockerz.
I don't know why. I mean, like, have you seen my face? Look at it. Look at it long and hard. They just want...
Boing?
Yeah.
We will both be singing the goodbye song today. I just want to make that clear.
Yes. So, did you actually want to ask a question, or was that legitimately it? Is that all I'm worth? It's just asking me to sing it. Fucking hell, honestly. Look, listen, I'm a bit dim, but fucking hell, like, right, go on, piss off, you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How did we, Pockerz? How did we first, like, how did we become what we are now?
Because you just kept hounding me, you thirsty bitch.
You know, you're just my type. That's it. I love big beardy men. That's exactly what I go for, and that's why every partner I've ever had has been slim blonde guys. But yeah, no. That's why I hound you.
Yeah, do you know what it was? Obviously, I think it was like, obviously when I joined that live, when you sort of like brought to light that, you know, you had officially sort of had, you know, the validation of, you know, finding out that actually Annette did have a part to play in the whole, you know, contacting outside of TikTok life, you know. So then that was where that kind of started. And then obviously
You're right, it was that live where I was dressed in yellow and you came in the box.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Because then, and then like, obviously then I sort of then going live and then obviously you pop in and then I mean,
Pockerz
like,
pause.
Pockerz pause. Oh yes, back in the day.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much I can change in 6 months.
Because a lot of people, and we said we'd address this tonight, and we haven't yet. But
oh shit, you're right. Fucking hell.
A lot of people think that it's only in the last week or two where I've just come in and like completely tried to take over your thing. But I've actually been coming in and annoying you for several months.
Yeah. Like he's played the long game. He definitely has. So the thing that we were meant to address that I haven't mentioned at all.
I mean, I'm happy to cover it if you would, or you can cover it. It's your live.
Well, yeah. I mean, basically, this is Jon's second account now. So the name will be changing. Jon will be coming live 7:00 every night.
I'm growing a beard.
Yeah, he's going to grow a beard. It's going to be a whole thing. No. So to the address, the audience, that obviously this is a very unique moment, one moment in time, that Jon's actually got the free time to sort of join the live as regularly as he has been.
And being blunt, you're also helping me like mentally, because I feel quite lonely for the next week or so. And my partner's not here, so
and that is saying something, because I am a drag.
Yeah.
I am an absolute energy zapper. Like I can,
He is. He just doesn't leave me alone, guys.
Yeah. So obviously, so Jon's, you know, and this is the thing. This has been consensual. I have consented to everything that we have done and are doing. But yeah, originally, obviously, I was doing Tuna Tuesdays by myself, and then obviously Jon pops into my lives and all that jazz, and you know, he probably saw how fun and successful that Tuna Tuesdays were going for me. And he was like, I want a piece of that pie.
That's exactly what it was.
It literally, I can read you. Yeah. So he messages me and, he said that he wanted to do his own like form of Tuna Tuesday or whatever, and sort of like kind of asking for like, not advice or whatever, but like, did I want to join and sort of kind of help and all that jazz. So then I just turned around and I said, well, fuck it. Why didn't you just join me on Tuna Tuesday? Like, well, fuck it. Like, what, rather than you doing something like externally, why didn't you just join Tuna Tuesday? It's not like, I'm not that protective.
I didn't want to just copy exactly what you were doing. And, I also felt as though genuinely I could support you with your channel as well and help you grow it. I remember now the first time I actually thought of you was when I incorporated you into that birthday party video where, it was like, all around you are familiar faces. And it was just a miserable video of you all around the table. And you're just going...
Sat next to the bear.
Yeah, that was the first time I remember you. There was a time before that, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, genuinely, I'm not going to always be here. No. It's a very special week.
Yes.
And I will be here, but it's going to be like a once, maximum twice a week. It's probably going to be once a week. And it's going to be the Tuna Tuesday slot. We are talking about doing other stuff together, of course, but this is Pockerz' channel and it's not my channel. And I don't want people to think that it's just going to be us all the time. But I know that a lot of people love the fact we mess around, and so the more that people love that, the more we'll do it. It's as simple as that.
Exactly. And I think, and then also to reiterate on a point that we have made before, that Tuna Tuesday is the thing that we do on Tuesday, but that might not necessarily always forever be the thing that we do in that particular week. Like, if it's a slow news week or whatever, then that would obviously hinder our ability to be able to do it.
And there is bingo on Tuesday. There will be bingo.
Yes.
So don't worry.
Yes. But then that's where we will then take the opportunity to then do something else, that we have been thinking about, or, like we say, we've got ideas, but it's not then the be all end all of my existence or John's, At the end of the day, John's got his cooking lives to do, as well as then,
which again, I'm not doing because, in my opinion, I'm having the week off because there's no point me cooking big meals for me and my partner when he's not here for the time being. I'm also in a bit of a mood when he's not here because I'm all mopey. So I'd rather just get a takeaway and come and chat with Pockerz. So, although tonight I did oven cook some bits,
Yeah, do you know what? Oh, honestly, I fucking love that bag of Doritos. I really did.
I mean, if I was your friend, I'd tell you that you really should look at what you're eating because, that sort of thing is not going to give you what you need. But, I'm not.
It's fine. I take multivitamins. It's fine as well.
Yeah, that solves all the problems.
Yes, it does.
I don't know if you want to think about what you do now, whether it's wrap up time or because you always said to me like we need to stick to this 10 p.m. thing.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not at work tomorrow, so Friday's a loosey goosey for me.
Oh, okay. It's just because I'm halfway between wanting to do the goodbye song and also like you want to continue.
Oh, I mean, would you tell me? I mean, like, hey, you can stay on and we can chat and do something else if you want.
Yeah,
like,
well, oh, I mean, I'm
not kicking you out if you want to go for another hour or so. Wait for it.
Yeah, I wish guys would say that to me more.
Boing.
I mean, to be fair though, if people don't need to want to come in and ask more questions, we've sort of told the story from start to finish, really. So I don't really have anything else to add to it other than what we've spoken about. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sorry, hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Yes.
I'm sorry, but it might mean that you need to actually, as the guy running the live, might need to actually come up with something.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I thought this was the John show. I'm so sorry.
Yes, yeah. Well, the John show ended at 10
someone
o'clock,
was there and now they've fucked off. Okay. Pockerz, what was it like to be a mod?
I need to just check my phone quick, but I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
It was okay. I mean, it had its say towards the end of it. I've said this to Jon loads of times. I've said this on live. I was like bottom of the barrel. Fed shit, kept in the dark situation. Even before the mole saga, I was still kept in the dark. I wasn't. I could mute you, but I couldn't block anyone. I was like bottom of the barrel, and that's fine because I can accept that. But what I couldn't then accept was the fact that it was just fucking terrible. Do you have a YouTube channel with repeats for those of us who can't watch from the start? Do you know what, Emma? Everyone keeps telling me to do that, and I really do need to do that. See, I can. Do you know what? Okay, well, for those that know YouTube, if you upload it and it's got music, it will fuck you up, because it will strike bits and bobs, and it's annoying because obviously, normally when I do my normal regular programming, I normally start off watching a bit of listening to some music. But I'm too stupid to obviously cut the first bit out. But
don't put yourself down that much. I mean, you're just technically challenged.
So yeah, like I said, stupid. Fucking hell, like Jesus. Basically, what you've just done there, Jon, was just tell me I'm stupid when I've just said I'm stupid.
Yeah, but I said it in the polite way.
I know, but I just need to say it bluntly, So yes, I need to do that. I just need to get a bit better at doing it because the podcast editions are definitely something that are, I think, interesting enough to do that. So yes, I say watch this space. I will take this podcast with Jon's permission, of course, though he doesn't have a choice.
I withhold my permission.
Yeah, well, you're the one that joined the box, so. More for you.
Okay, well, next week is going to be in Jon's box, so come over there.
Yes, yeah. Yes, so
there was something I needed to do, but I can't find it.
That's fine. So yes, I will do it. Yeah, 100%. I need to if we do more of these podcast editions, which actually I find very enthralling because I can sit here and listen to people just talk, and that's not because I'm not saying that like all Jon has just done today is just talk. Whitney has done, but I mean, he's telling a story. He's telling actually things that happened, and I'm enthralled. Can
we have an ad break?
Where are you doing the ad break?
I can do it right here.
Okay.
So in all serious,
shut the fuck up, child. Wait. This is the voice of TikTok Shop. Jonathan Christ Superstar has things he needs to sell.
This is my issue with you stopping me from saying what I was going to say because it's not TikTok Shop. But thank you for trying. So anyway,
okay.
In all seriousness. Something that does support me, if you want to help me, and I know I'm doing this on Pockerz channel, but something that does actually support me is that I do a lot of cooking lives. And if you don't know me, I'm famous, don't you know? I use Gusto for my cooking lives. Now, Gusto is great because it means you get like recipe cards where you get step-by-step cooking instructions on how to do your dinners. They send all the ingredients out to you. Pockerz should really give it a try as well. If you want to join it, they're currently offering you 65% off your first box. Okay, so you get 65% off, and I get £20 into my Gusto kit. If you want to trial it, you can actually get your family's food for the week for up to 4 people for like 15 quid with that discount. So I think you should just give it a try anyway and try cooking some fresh food for your family. The code is on my bio. Go to my TikTok profile, click on my link tree, and there's a Gusto link right there for you. Thank you very much for listening to this ad break.
This has been an ad break from Jonathan Christ Superstar. There we go.
There you go.
There you go.
Right.
Thank you for that, John.
Well, that's bought you 10 more minutes of me, so.
If I bar box, we'll get half hour.
That is true.
Oh. Someone's asking what
my
your Gusto code.
Yeah, my Gusto code is in my. So click on my image. I'm down here in the box. Okay, hold on. There's the camera. I'm down here in the box. Click on my profile. Go to my name, and there's a link in my bio. Click on the link, and it'll literally sign up using that link. You can also cancel it after the first box if you don't like it. So,
ding dong, dear Pockerz, what is the Mole Saga, please and thank you. The Mole Saga was the litany of different WhatsApp groups that our best friend had created, where it consisted of multiple different combinations of people, and they were then essentially, it felt like they were then set their own individual secret tasks just to then try and find out and weed out who the mole was. And I still think, as far as I'm aware to this day, they never found out who the mole was. So it all
the
fucking
true
went
story
to shit.
about that though, right?
What true story? What? So what? Okay, go on then. Tell
the
me.
mole. No. I'm just saying, right? So the mole contacted me. This is where it all came from, and they pretended to be one of the mods, but it wasn't actually that mod, right? They actually pretended to be someone else. I then sent all of that to Pitter because I knew deep down that this was going to kick off and cause all sorts of problems. So I deliberately sent it to Pitter, knowing full well that it would cause that. But I was also helping, it was also helping. But in the background, I knew she'd be like, right, I've got a mole, blah, 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 blah. So it's quite hilarious to watch it all implode. Just saying.
Yeah, thanks for that. Cheers.
At the end of the day, though, I can only give the information out. It's what she did with it that caused you to leave.
You unshackled my chains and let me free.
Yes, yeah. People are asking for a preview of the Goodbye song.
Bed, so lie in it.
Lie in it.
Can we get a preview of the Goodbye song? What do you mean a preview?
Yeah, I really do want to sing it. I'm not going to lie.
This is why John is now called Jonathan Christ Superstar.
That is true.
He parted the Red Sea and allowed us to escape.
Yes.
It's just he's been holding it open for a couple of years.
What was the mole accused of doing? Sharing chat logs with me. Screenshots.
Which, by the way, for what it's worth, I have all of them.
Yes. And
because I'm a bitch.
I don't think it'll be long before we see more moles. If she carries on with her behaviour, more and more people will come out after it. So it wouldn't expect me. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear from more people in the future.
I was not the mole. What part of I was fed shit and kept in the dark did you not understand?
I love the fact that you got accused of being the mole, even though you knew nothing.
I literally knew fuck all. The only thing I did know was when Peter told me that Annette trusts you.
Oh, I didn't know that. They actually trusted you. Annette couldn't tell you that herself, though, right?
She couldn't tell me herself, and they trusted me that much that they didn't tell me anything. So, whoopsie.
Pitter, mute.
Oh, it was a girls' group, John. It was a girls' group.
Oh, the girls' group, yeah.
What do you not understand about it being a girls' chat?
Yeah. No, and I think I've sort of had this thought as well, about like the whole. You could almost say that the way that she does things, it's like you could assume that it's like, oh, this must be like a caricature of what she's actually like. And then you find out that this is actually what she's like. Does that make sense? What?
And completely separate to what you're saying, and I'm very sorry. I know you were hoping I was going to agree with you there, but I just want to. Happen to be going on a cruise in a few weeks. Don't know if I've told you this. No, but seriousness here, right?
Yeah.
No, just bear with me. One of her previous moderators is also coming on that cruise.
Oh my!
Pitter,
I'll just let that sit there for a minute.
mute.
And they didn't book it because they knew I was going on it. It just happened to be on it.
Well, ding dong.
So I'm going to be in there fishing for information. They happen to be in the chat right now.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I'm the mole.
Can you two get a haircut together?
Oh God.
Oh, Gemma9966 would like to join the box.
Okay, well, we can let her in for a minute.
Yeah, go on in. Quick question. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Is she saying anything?
I don't. Hello. I can hear you breathe, which is very disconcerting. Oh, it's
Sorry,
a mistake.
I think I've done this by mistake.
It's okay. I will get. Do not stress. Just it's okay. Gemma9966 Kiss is a clout chaser. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
Sorry, I've just got out of the shower and I'm
Welcome
thinking,
to
what are
an
you going on
audience of
about?
loads of people, though, Gemma.
But anyway, yeah, love you both, but you can kick me out.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Love it.
We'll have all the women
Pitter,
coming out the showers
mute.
in our lives. Okay?
Yes. It's not necessarily John's cup of tea, but
No, there's one for Pockerz tonight.
yeah. You know.
Can we?
Do you want to do a pointless poll?
Can we please do a goodbye song? Now, I know we're not going.
You want to do the goodbye song?
Does that ruin your? Does it ruin your religion if we do it now and again later?
It goes against everything.
Okay, well,
No,
see you later then. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. Guess I'll just go then.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's sing it.
Let's sing it, and then we could do a round of Lunar Tuna Bingo.
Do you want to do a random Lunar Tuna Bingo? Wow.
Ooh,
what the hell's a Pockernism?
Pockerism?
No, but it says nism. Pockernism.
Can we do a pointless poll as to whether people want to do a one-line round of Lunar Tuna Bingo? Should we see if people want to do it today?
Right.
I've gone. I'm not here, guys. I'm literally not here.
Right. Happy face, you want to do a quick Lunar Tuna Bingo. Sad face, you don't. And if you put sad face, you're blocked. Thank you. Oh. There. How's it going?
Right, Andy put a sad face, so he gets blocked.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't see a sad face.
Andy was the only one who did it.
Andy, you fucker.
It didn't come up on the poll, but he did it. He did the other crying face.
Yeah. Oh. That's how you beat the system, Kelly.
Yeah.
Cheeky sausage. We'll have all the singing, please. Yeah, I mean, like, my voice is better, but it's still not better, if that makes sense.
Well, this could be the practice goodbye song.
Okay.
Have you got a way of playing me the music through sharing your screen with me?
Yes.
Can we do that so I can actually sing it alongside you?
Yeah, but you know it's always share.
Yes, but it's not. It's just you aren't as good as me at it, and that's fine. I appreciate that.
Such
and I
a
don't.
cunt.
You know what? We haven't told these guys how mean and nasty you are to me off this as well. Okay?
I'm not fucking mean and nasty to you.
You are
shithead.
mean and nasty. I sent you a really hilarious clip earlier of me recording like the intro. Okay, and you send me a voice note back saying, "Oh, you clearly got nothing to do then today." I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like Annette 2.0.
I'm such a twat.
In fact, I have the recording here. Hold on.
Go on, play it. It'll be funny.
Yeah, hold on. Right, so I'll play you what I sent him. Right. Stop laughing because I can hear you. Oh God! Oh wait, hold on! Oh! How do I?
Oh no!
Right, I've closed TikTok for a second. There we go. Okay, right, I'm ready. Here we go. The problem is when I swiped to the side, it didn't like it. Right, here we go. Okay, this is the recording I sent Pockerz. Okay, I don't know if we can hear it. One man must fight. Can you hear it?
Survival.
Yeah.
He must come across and tell his story. Oh, Jon, Annette.
Not really.
You're a bit bored, are you, Jon?
Why do I sound like that?
Yeah, did you hear that? This is what he said to me. Are you a bit bored there, Jon?
A bit bored there, are you, Jon? Yeah. Do I sound like that?
Yes.
Oh, hello.
This is what I'm saying. Is
a bit bored, are we there, Jon?
You know, I actually put a lot of effort into that. I got my iPad out. I started playing the music for it.
Dick face. I fucking put all the fucking effort into the bloody promo videos I fucking do for us. You shit. That's it. The venom fucking is real. Right, okay. Shall we do the lullaby? The goodbye song.
But I need you to...
I've shared it with you, you prick.
Okay, hold on. Can we also just please take a moment to look and see how handsome my man is, please?
Oh, fucking hell, honestly. Let's all have a look at Brad. Oh, shit, I've taken him off the screen.